Good morning, everyone. My name is Naomi Jesica. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of Red Little Riding Hood. Enjoy! Once upon a time, there was a sweet little girl who lived in a small village. She wore a bright red cloak with a hood on, so that's why she's always called Red Little Riding Hood. One day, her mother said to her, "Red Little Riding Hood, your grandma is feeling sick. Please take this basket full of goodies to her." Little Red Riding Hood agreed and set off to the forest. The birds were singing, the flowers were blooming. Little Red Riding Hood was feeling so happy. So she went to pick flowers for her grandmother. But suddenly, a big bad wolf appeared behind the trees. "Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf. "Good morning," said Little Red Riding Hood politely, not knowing the danger. "Where are you going, little girl?" said the wolf. "I'm going to my grandmother. She lives in a house under the woods," said Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf gleamed with a wicked idea. What a lovely idea. "Why don't you pick more flowers while you're here, little girl?" said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood think it was a great suggestion, so she went to pick more flowers for her grandmother. Meanwhile, the wolf ran as fast as he could to grandmother's house and knocked. Then grandmother said, "Who is there?" "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf, trying to sound like the little girl. The grandma opened the door and the wolf pounced at the grandmother and swallowed her whole. And he quickly put on her nightgown, her glasses, and her cap, waiting for little girl to come. A little while later, Little Red Riding Hood finally arrived. She knocked on the door and entered. "Grandma, I brought you some goodies," said Little Red Riding Hood, but something seemed different. "Grandma, what big eyes you have!" "You ought to see you better, dear," said the wolf. "But Grandma, what big ears you have!" "All too better to hear you, my dear." "But Grandma, what big ears, what big teeth you have!" "All too better to eat you with." And the wolf quickly jumped out of bed and swallowed and devoured the little girl. When the wolf tried to grab her and devoured her, Little Red Riding Hood was screaming and crying. After the wolf devoured her, he quickly fell asleep on the bed. When Little Red Riding Hood was screaming and crying, a huntsman passed by and heard her cries. And he quickly burst down the door and tried to fire the big bad wolf who was laying on the bed. But he acquires that the big bad wolf had eaten the grandmother. So he quickly took a pair of scissors and cut his belly. With 2 snipes, he saw Little Red Riding Hood. He quickly helped Little Red Riding Hood freed her grandmother, who was unharmed but shaken. Soon, the Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma thanked the brave huntsman And from that day on, Little Red Riding Hood promised to her mother and listened to her mother and never stray off the path. This is the story of Little Riding Hood. The moral of the story is always listen to the adults who care for you. And be cautious of strangers. A little mistake can make a big problem. It's important to stay safe and you guys need to make wise decisions before you do anything. Thank you. This is Naomi Jesica. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.